Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I am going to be talking about Marshmallow finally. Now I did do a live show on Marshmallow a while back and I can link to that, but it's a long show and it's a lot of chit chat. So today I just want to focus only on the marshmallow and its health benefits. Now you can see it gets quite tall, and I was waiting to do this video, waiting for it to flower, so that you could see how pretty the flowers are. And they just have this beautiful, sweet smell. And I absolutely love the marshmallow. Not only because of the beauty it adds to the garden and its soft, velvety leaves, though not quite as plush as the woolly lambs there, they're still just very soft and you just want to pet them. But all the wonderful things you can do with the marshmallow. So I'll tell you first what I use it for, and then I'm going to read off a list of its many benefits. So I have, as of yet, not dug up any of the roots and used them because I've just been wanting to get them to get real thick. Though this fall I may dig a few up and then dehydrate them up. However, you can find the medicinal benefits in the leaves and flowers as well. In fact, the leaves and the roots are the most commonly used, but you'll hear more about the root than you do the leaves, yet they have the same properties. I use the leaves and the flowers when I get them for making my infused, like you saw in my video from the other day, the oil I have infusing in the greenhouse there has marshmallow leaf in it. Is very, very good for the skin. I've used it in my homemade shampoo, and let's see what else. So skin cream and shampoo. Okay, and then I also use it, so that's topically, and then I also use it as in my teas. And so this year my tea blend is going to, I've made teas with just the marshmallow leaf and it's pretty good. And if you combine the marshmallow leaf with the pansy and some mint, oh man, it makes a really tasty tea. And so this year what I'm doing, I do make one big huge batch of a tea blend from my many herbs in my garden, and this year I'm going to be adding the marshmallow leaf to my tea blend, especially after reading through again of the many benefits of the marshmallow. And then down the road when I dig up the roots, I'll be adding that in too. But it's important for me to have these plants, and I know I have at least 15 plants growing around here. And that there, I still have yet to measure it, but it's at least 8 feet tall. So these will get quite tall. The first couple years they'll only get a few feet tall, but then when they come back, because they are perennial, they'll just keep getting taller and taller. So let me read to you the list I put together here of some of the health benefits. So here are the properties. It's anti-tussive, mucilaginous, I always struggle with that word, antibacterial, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory. Now, I didn't realize until today, I don't remember coming across before in my studies of this herb, that it had analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties. Now, I believe the anti-inflammatory may be related more when it's used topically, but it can also be used in a tea for helping with headaches, muscle pains. And so I'm like, wow, this is really important because I get a lot of muscle pain, especially this time of year with everything going on. When I get really stressed out, my shoulders just start to ache. So I'll be making myself some marshmallow tea tonight for sure, and I'm going to be using fresh marshmallow leaves. Some other things, because of its mucilaginous properties, it's very soothing to any of the mucous membranes, so it's going to be good for your digestive tract. It's going to be good for helping with coughs, easing coughs and easing sore throats. And you'll notice that, in fact, a lot of people may not realize that the marshmallow plant wasn't named after the confectionery treat. It's the other way around, because they used to make marshmallows using the root and the leaves to get that thickening gel-like substance. So that was how marshmallows were made. So that's where the name came from. And I have actually used marshmallow root before in making homemade marshmallows, and I'll insert a picture of some homemade marshmallows right here. I'll do a video on that someday, on how to make your own marshmallows, because they are so tasty. Okay, some other things. So topically, very good for skin. So it helps with dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, superficial wounds, blisters, and burns. I knew about its soothing properties to the skin for eczema and stuff, and that it's just, you know, good for having healthy skin. But I didn't realize it was also, until today, that it was good also for things like burns and small cuts and stuff. So that's something to consider. Now, for the digestive system, here's some of the things it's good for. That is helping with the pain of Crohn's disease, and also helping to ease the symptoms for ulcerative colitis, heartburn, indigestion, and stomach ulcers. And I'm sure any other digestive issues you may have, it would be very beneficial to. So if you're not growing marshmallow yet and you have the space for it, I say go for it. One thing I found is when okay, these really tall ones over here, I didn't cut back because I wanted to leave and let them see how tall they would get. But what I find is I occasionally like to come out, and let me go around the other side here. Especially when it first starts growing, well, not first, but when it's kind of midway, I will cut some of these back. I'll prune them back, and then it'll thicken up from the bottom. It'll get more shoots going up. So here's one I cut not too long ago, and so you can see it's sprouting up just like any other plant's going to do. You know, it's going to bush out more if you cut it every now and then. Like I said, some of these I wanted to leave just to see how tall they would get. That guy is looking at me. You see him? There he is. Look at him. He's looking at me. It's okay. I've got plantain handy if he decides to jump out and sting me. Okay. I've only been stung once, and that was just because I slapped at it because I didn't know it was there. So anyway, yeah, back to the marshmallow. Well, that's just it kind of in a nutshell. So look it up and consider growing this beautiful plant. Now, for me, it took me a couple of years to really get a good start because I tried here. Now remember, I'm in the north, the peninsula of Washington State, and I tried in the wettest part of Washington State. By the way, not all Washington is wet, just our side. I tried direct seeding it several times, and it did not do well. So for me to finally get these beautiful marshmallow plants, what I ended up doing was starting it in little pots in my greenhouse. Once it gets to a certain size, what I then did was move it to a bigger pot outside, and then when it looked like it was going to be good and healthy, I then transplant it in the ground. And then once it's there, it's there. It's a perennial. It will keep coming back, and when you start to see it coming back, if you watch some of my earlier garden videos from early spring, I was showing you what the marshmallow looked like when it started coming up, and it sends up little red shoots is what they look like. The birds like to eat them too because they kind of look like little worms coming up out of the ground. So till they get to be a certain height, you might have to keep the birds off of them. So there's a little tip on how to grow them, and I may be collecting seed this year from the marshmallow. I'm going to be selling some different seeds later this year. So if you're interested, just contact me at raincountryhomestead@gmail.com or through Facebook. Please don't message me here on YouTube because I am terrible at remembering to check my messages, and I don't get notifications from YouTube for hardly anything anymore. And so a lot of messages may sit there for a month or two before I even see them, and I apologize for that. But as I get busier, it also gets more difficult for me to keep up on those. So email and Facebook are the two best ways to interact with me. So you can find me, Facebook, Rain Country Homestead, or Rain Country Handcrafted Goods, or both. And then again, Rain Country Homestead@gmail.com. Hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.